Hello everyone, my name is Regina. I'm in class 1538. Today I would like to talk about the culture of Taiwanese authentic foods. We have learned about Taiwanese Bandou culture in the 8th unit. It makes me think of Taiwanese authentic foods. Speaking of Taiwanese authentic foods, the street food culture must be mentioned. So today, I'm gonna introduce a few Taiwanese authentic dishes that represent in the streets and talk a little about how Taiwan's street food culture began and the history of Taiwan street food culture. My outline would be like this. The first part, I would say how Taiwanese street food culture began and the history of Taiwanese street food. The second part, I will introduce the famous Taiwanese street foods and how the authentic foods were made. The first part, the history of Taiwanese street food culture. Taiwanese street food culture stems from the Qing dynasty. During the early People's Reclamation period, most of the Taiwanese people engaged in agriculture. It means that most of the people in Taiwan is doing a really hard and exhausting work. To fulfill the workers' belly, businessmen start using bamboo baskets, just like the picture on your right hand. They will put all the foods in the basket and sell them in a porter-like term. Then the businessmen start set up small shops and become vendors. That's how Taiwanese street food culture started to begin. Most of the Taiwanese street food combines two fields of culture. The first one is the Chinese culture. It's from the post-World War II era, 1945 to the 1980s. The second one is the Japanese, which is from the colonial era from 1895 to 1945. For the second part, I have searched for several websites of the top 10 must-eat Taiwanese foods for reference, and I have selected 5 of them. And today I'm going to introduce them to you. The first one is braised pork rice. Braised pork rice is a popular food between both Taiwanese and the foreigners. The braised pork rice consists of fatty soy, braised pork belly, and steamed white rice being served over. The method of making the braised pork rice is really easy. First, find a fresh pork belly, cut it into pieces and then fry them. And then add some soy sauce or some spice that you like. While frying these pork belly, at last, steam some rice and then put the well-made pork into the steamed rice. A delicious braised pork rice is done. Look at the picture on your right hand. It looks really delicious. The second one I'm gonna introduce to you is the beef noodles. Beef noodles originates in Taiwan. In 1949, the Kuomintang government came into Taiwan. The people that comes to Taiwan with the Kuomintang government misses their home back in China very much. They wanted to taste those food they used to eat in China very much. So they started to combine the flavors that they miss a lot in merely a bowl of beef noodles. And the beef noodles has become one of the most delicious food. The beef noodles has made its reputations abroad. The method of the beef noodles is quite mysterious and complex, so I'm going to share the standard way that I know. First, boil the beef and the bone at the same time for about 1 minute. This step is to filter the blood and all the unclean parts that we don't want to eat. Step 2. Boil the beef again and season the beef with spices. This part is one of the most important parts to decide the flavor of the beef noodles and whether this beef noodles is going to be delicious or appetizing. There are a lot of different ingredients in Taiwan. It would be great to taste the different flavors of beef noodles in Taiwan. The last step. Make sure the beef is totally cooked. Then use the seasoned water to cook noodles. As the noodles is cooked, put on some vegetables that you like. Beef noodles is finished. The third one, flaky scallion pancake. Flaky scallion pancake is my favorite snack. I would say that the best flavor of the flaky scallion pancake is one with eggs. Different from the pancakes that we use to know, flaky scallion pancake doesn't need any butter or cream. The way to make a flaky scallion pancake is first add all-purpose flour and some salt into the bowl. Add some water and make the flours into a dough. Then put some peanut oil on the dough and flat the dough into round shape. Next, fry the dough. You can also fry an egg on the flaky scallion pancake. It would be awesome. It's really delicious. Yeah. The last one I would like to introduce to you guys is the oyster omelet. Oyster omelet is abundance of textures. It is popular in both the young and the old. This snack composes of small oysters, eggs, savory sauce, and some thicken. The method to make an oyster omelet is first, scramble the eggs into the pan. Second, after putting some water and salt into the pan, wait for a while, till the eggs are getting more and more solid. Put the fresh oyster as well as some cornstarch mixed in water. Then put into the pan. Wait until the oyster is cooked. At last, put some sweet potato sauce on, and your oyster omelet is done. These are the 4 Taiwanese authentic food I would like to share to you. And this is my reference page. Thank you for listening.